Welcome to the Take Care Sis podcast with me, Ki, and Kiki.
Join two friends for a conversation around self-care in real life. We'll talk about anything on the spectrum from bubble baths to setting boundaries to managing friendships and more.
As your sisters, we also just want to provide a weekly check-in. You know, like big sis asking little sis, sis, you good? So come on in, sis. Let's talk about how we can take better care of ourselves. Hey, Kiki.
Hey, Ki.
What's up, girl?
Nothing much. What's up with you? How are you?
I'm okay.
That's it. I'm okay.
Yeah. So, my procrastination level is on 8,000 right now because, I'm supposed to be packing and all that other stuff. That hasn't gone so well this week because I know you was finna ask, but no, packing hasn't gone so well. And I'm in this place where, you know how like you're about to embark on like this change, whether it be getting a new job or I don't know, but embarking on this change, like I'm having, I don't want to say regrets, but now I'm having a lot of doubts. And it's all like, wait, is this really what I want to do? Is now the time? Can I afford it? And so it's a lot of like clouded judgments in my head that I'm having to process out and give myself positive talk through. But it does not help to the procrastination because I'm already good at procrastinating on my own. And now this little clouded judgment. So yeah, needless to say, no, packing has not gone well this week before you even ask.
Yeah, I knew because your mama last episode was like, you need to text her. Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
But she knows, so ain't nothing you can say. She knows. She knows her child. She knows her. Mm-hmm. As much as we want to fuss about our mamas, they know us. Mm-hmm. Go ahead,
No,
Frank.
I plead the fifth.
Go ahead, Frank.
Plead the fifth. How was your week?
It was cool. The week was a week, just a regular week. Weekend was a little busy, so I'm literally just getting back in the house like now. But my cousins came, my older cousins, they came to visit. So my mom has been busy this week hosting. Because I was going to ask you, did your mama get her massage for self-care too? Because we asked them what they were going to do. But my
Mom did
mom
get her massage.
Good. My mama said she was going to do nothing, and she didn't have a chance to do nothing because she had a house full of people. So it was just like, when you host things, it's kind of hard to sit down and not do anything.
Right.
But yeah, I went home this weekend. I also had a weekend with my goddaughter. Me, her, and her mother went to see Peppa Pig live. Yes. Those kids were lit. Yes, they were. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that was basically my weekend. It was pretty good.
Sounds busy.
Yes. So for a recap of last week's episode, we talked to our mamas, our dear sweet and sour mothers that we love to death.
Sweet and sour.
And we just had an episode asking them about their self-care throughout the phases of being a parent, being a mother. And we know that their husbands kind of get in the way sometimes and they have to throw them out,
Yes. Partners
and
do.
we learned that they value sleep a lot. And they valued their own time, like when they put us to bed. So that was their self-care throughout the phases of being a parent.
So guys, we got a new review. We got a new review from E13. E13 says, I look forward to the Take Care Sis podcast every week. I can always relate and I feel like I'm a part of the conversation. Love, 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 love to listen. Thank you, girl. We appreciate you listening. just make sure you tell your friends and tell them to tell their friends. And then we need more reviews.
We almost
Yep.
to our goal. We got 8 reviews, y'all. We asking for
Woohoo!
10. So that's just 2 more people. We just need y'all to head on over to Apple Podcasts and review for us. Thank you. 5 stars only. Thanks.
What's that? And another one, thank you. And another one,
one.
thank you. Anyway, friend, what are we talking about this week?
So, this week I was thinking, like, do you ever take time to think about your friend circle? Like, do you think about who's actually in your corner? So I usually think about this from the perspective of who do I need to let go of? And I think a lot of people go this route, like reevaluate who's in your friend circle or even who's in just your circle in general. Because I mean, a circle of people can be friends, business contacts, mentors, all of these things. Just people in general, I guess. So I often come from the perspective of thinking, who do I need to let go of, or who do I need to stop talking to? Because this ain't working for me. So today I wanted to focus on that sound bad. Not really. Okay. We're gonna go with that.
No, I was gonna say a little.
I mean, that's how I think. But today I wanted to focus on who I needed to keep in my circle. So
like the positivity there.
Yes, it is. So I think we're going to talk about the types of people you need to stay close to. So I'm just going to ask both of us this question before we get into those types of people. What type of people do you usually want to keep around you and why? So I'm going to go and ask that to Ki first.
So first of all, as soon as you said any of that, I started thinking of that song by TLC. What about your friends? Will they let you down?
Yep.
So now that whole thing is playing in my head, just so
Mhm.
you know. Secondly, I have attachment issues. So I'm going to say I need to keep everybody around. But I'm kidding. I don't. I don't. So let's see. I've developed. So first of all, I'm a military kid, right? So I have had to learn to make friends every couple years because every couple years we moved, right? And what's interesting is in my adult life, I kind of do the same thing. Every couple years, I get hella itchy to move somewhere new, right? And it's getting harder and harder as we age, really. So who do I need to keep around? That gets tricky because my inner circle changes, right? I will always have my like for many years now I had my consistent like inner circle, but who I let around me on my outer circles, because there's levels to this. So you got your inner circle, then you got your outer inner circle, and then I got my outer circle, right? And then there's just a whole bunch of people I know. And I use the term friend way too loosely, as my best friend likes to tell me. She's like, you called way too many people friend. So now I've just started calling everybody friend. Like if I dig you at all, I'm gonna call you friend. It is what it is. It's saving me in this world of pronouns, sort of.
True.
Yeah. it's saved me a little bit in this world of pronouns. But who do I want to keep around? I definitely want to keep around somebody who prays for me. Definitely want to keep around someone who encourages me. Definitely want to keep around somebody who will tell me the truth. Like, I need you to say it softly, but basically I really need you to give me the real. And then I just need that person that I can go shenan with, get into all the shenanigans. I need a shenan partner. And I need someone who has a younger spirit than I do, because I feel like that keeps me young. Yeah, I think those are my tops. Those are my tops. Oh, and then somebody who like is a goal getter, like heavier than I am. So like somebody I can kind of like look up to and be like, huh, so they getting their PhD now. Huh. Okay. And it's not, I don't look at it from a competitive space. I look at it from a, all right, I need to be getting myself together, because I'm very much learning that my journey is mine. Mm-hmm. But you do need that little kick in the butt sometimes. So those are mine. Those are my top 5. I say all that to say. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. What you got? Who you got? Who you keeping around, friend?
So I didn't go as many as 5, but for myself, because I am somewhat of a sensitive person, I need someone who does understand me and does allow me to be able to express my feelings. Also, I
That's
need
me.
someone.
That's not me.
Also, I need someone. Also, I need someone who can challenge me and tell me the truth, because I do have the tendency to just kind of want to stay in my own world and not do what I need to do. I think, and that's that's as far as I went, but a lot of the things that you were saying were very true.
Yeah.
Someone who prays for you, and
I have so many, because I've learned to not look for everything in one person.
Right.
So I believe that about friendships and about spouses. Like, you're not gonna find, partners.
Right.
You're not gonna find everything in your partner. You shouldn't look to your partner for everything. So while I want a partner that encompasses like 3 out of 5, hey bro, you got it, 3 out of 5. But I don't need him to have all 5. And I'm gonna add a 6. I do need someone who is a lot softer than, and I use soft, and that's probably the wrong word. I'm going to use your word, emotional. So this is why I keep you around, Fran, because you are really like, you're a feely person, and I need a.
But you don't try to keep me around. You be trying to get rid of me every episode. So I keep
coming back though.
Barely.
I'm here now.
See, we're opposites. You need someone that is a bit more emotional, and I need someone who's a bit more stern.
You are welcome.
Okay. Okay. So now that we,
by the way, Fran.
Say what?
I love this topic, by the way.
I'm so glad. But we're gonna get into, now that we've kind of dove into our own individual thoughts about who we need to keep around, we're going to talk about 6 types of people to stay close to. And this was actually a post by, I'm going to say, Nedra Tewwab. And and she's actually a therapist that I found on IG. And I saw one of her posts, and it was literally 6 types of people to stay close to. So I thought it'd be a great topic for us to talk about. So that's what we're going to do.
I like it.
All right. So the first type of person to stay close to is the people who inspire you to be a better version of yourself. Don't be afraid to ask them questions about their journey. Yeah. This makes me think of one of my friends who is one person that I do consider one of my best friends, but throughout our lives, she's always been doing something. She's literally good at a lot of things. She dances, she acts, the behind the scenes things, editing, content creation, all that stuff. So like when I have ideas, I go and bounce them off of her because she inspires me. Like I already see what she's done and she's like my number one go-to for that. So that's a true one. I like that.
I like that this says 6 types of people because once again, yeah, I have people who inspire me to be a better version of myself, but like in different ways, right? I have someone who inspires me to be a better person professionally, someone who inspires me, and by professionally, I mean like both of my professions, what I do by day, and then what I do, my superhero status. And then who inspire me to be a better like community advocate, people who inspire me to be a better like sister, because my brothers know I'm great, but can I work on things? Absolutely. To be a better daughter to my parents, I once again, I don't look for the one in the one person. I have a couple people who come to mind when I think of this, so I like it. Nedra. I like it.
And you should. Because like you said before, you don't look for all these qualities in one person. Most of the time I compartmentalize my friends, and that's not a bad thing. Like I have a friend for this, friend for that. People who like to travel, people who like to chill, people who like to go out to eat, like people who will pray for you, people who will just like we saying, they help you be a better person. There are different types of people for everything in your life, and you don't have to like try to force stuff on one friend. They don't have to like everything that you like. So
right. Yeah, absolutely agree. Next would be stay close to people who make you feel at ease. People who you can easily open up to, and those who make you feel comfortable being vulnerable, asking, sharing, receiving. Like to be vulnerable in asking and sharing and receiving information. Those people are good for you. Again, I guess this would be my you. You're an example of that for me.
I am so glad that you are receiving me for once in your life, because
you get one whole episode, friend.
But this is literally what I said before.
Yeah.
Because I need people who allow me to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't take it. That is. I guess it's vulnerable for me to say, like, I can't take harsh criticism all the time. So the people that come off kind of stern, sometimes I'll go to them, but it'll be a little later after I'm able to be vulnerable with somebody else.
Yeah.
So like
yeah,
I have to have a balance of vulnerability and sternness to be able to get through certain situations.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I get it.
So next is to stay close to people who understand you. It's helpful to have relationships with people who have walked in your shoes. And also it's meaningful to nurture relationships with people who are willing to learn, even if your experiences are different. So what came to mind, and I don't know if you remember this or not, back when we recorded like some of the earlier episodes before the ones that we recorded this year, the first one, I think you were like, I don't know if this is good because we didn't agree on everything. And I was like, why do we have to agree? I was like, it's a podcast. People will relate to different perspectives, and that's what I wanted. That was the first thing that came to mind when I actually saw this, and I was like, that's actually a perfect example. We understand each other, but we're also different, and we've walked different paths. And that's what I wanted for this podcast, is to provide different perspectives so that everyone can relate in some kind of way to everything we talk about.
Yep. This one's interesting. Like when I think of this, I think of dating, right? Because right now it just seems like there is just this war on relationships, right? It's an external war on trying to get people, and maybe it's just I don't know if it's just the Black community, I don't know, but it's like a war on trying to get people to come together. And it's interesting when you think of the term understand you. And so, this immediately says it's helpful to have relationships with people who have walked in your shoes. And I think about it, like when I'm dating, my personal preference is to have a yin to my yang. However, it's also very helpful to have someone not necessarily walk in my shoes, but the latter, willing to learn from my experiences, even if they are different.
Right.
And that's one thing where I think when people think of compatibility in friendships or more intimate relationships, I know you hate that term, but I'm gonna use it because it makes sense in this moment. But more intimate relationships, I think people look for a lot of sameness, forgetting that willing to understand or willing to have learned experiences is equally as important, at least for me. So
yeah, I don't, in terms of like intimate relationships, I don't necessarily look for someone that's the same as me. I feel like that'll be boring.
Yeah.
I'm not bored. I'm not saying that I'm boring, but like if we just do the same things instead of having someone who's experienced something else and can show me different things, like why would I want that? I crave different things from other people and different perspectives. And also when you think about people being willing to learn from you when your experience is different, I was thinking about listening because people don't listen to understand a lot. And you were talking about the war on relationships. That's probably why, because a lot of people don't listen to understand. They just listen to react or tell what they would do.
Yeah.
And understanding has to be what they have in order to move forward. That's a different topic for another day.
Different topic for another day. Got it. Whew, girl. Okay.
But yeah, when you said that brought that to mind, because listening and perceiving things are two different things, or understanding things, they're two different things.
Girl, we can talk about communication. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have somebody on. We're gonna have to talk about communication.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next, you want to stay close to people who expose you to new things about yourself and the world. Excuse me. It's helpful to have a variety of friends. If everyone is just like you, you will have a hard time understanding anyone different from you. This is my V1 dating, the end. No, it's also, I also appreciate this in my friendships. But I got exposed to this, like I said, being a military kid, I got exposed to this like early in life. Like my first duty station with my parents was, I lived in Germany, right? And so here I am, this little girl even my like childhood growing up story is interesting, but definitely when it comes to the military, my first duty station was in Germany. So I did kindergarten in the States, but first grade I'm in Germany. We're learning German. I got German friends. A lot of my friends, their parents are German. At least one of their parents are German. Eating German foods. And then, you have Americans of other like in my younger years, I did have a Filipino friend. She was one of my friends in the neighborhood, but for the most part, my friends were Black or white, right? And so this is the first time I'm being exposed to like other Europeans, or like, again, I had a friend who was Filipino growing up, so I had met Asians, but yeah, this was my first experience with people from all over the world. So yeah, I got exposed to this early and I appreciate it. Crave it, actually. That's why I love, and DC will always be one of my favorite cities, because it's literally like a melting pot. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
You got exposed to it earlier, and I feel like I did not. I craved that when I actually went to college. So I went to a predominantly white university. And when I got there, I kind of like wanted to experience other people from like different backgrounds, different cultures. And so what I did was join a co-ed fraternity where it was just like a melting pot of people from different places.
That's cool.
And that was just me. I know a lot of people went for the Black sororities and Black fraternities and all that stuff. I just wanted something, I just wanted something a little bit different when I was in college. So I just feel like if you experience different people, hear about their stories, you can find similarities and you find differences, and you're able to understand when you encounter other people further down the road. That's how it is. But a lot of people kind of stick to what they know. Some people are afraid to kind of venture out and talk to other people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not one of those. So.
No. But the best thing about that is like meeting people of different races or ethnicities is, you know, it definitely exposes you to different things about you, right? You learn what your strengths are. And I have found that being exposed to different ethnicities in particular, it has strengthened my own knowledge of my knowledge of my own ethnicity. Because it's nothing like talking to, again, I grew up with Filipinos. It's nothing like talking to some Filipinos, right? And you realizing, wait a minute, Black people do the same thing, right? Like, this is gonna sound horrible. So forgive me for anybody who doesn't appreciate what I'm about to say in the stereotype, but like, y'all know Black people, you know, we supposedly love chicken. We do. But so do Filipinos, right? I had never, listen, whoo, child, the first time I seen like a Filipino friend of mine like eat some fried chicken, I was just like, oh, wow, okay. So yeah, I have found that a lot more, and this is horrible what I'm about to say, but it's my experience. I found that cultures of color, all of them, we are a lot of like
very similar.
Very similar. And yeah, it's weird like that. But yeah, like I have been able to relate to Indian friends. I have definitely Caribbean, African, like children of Idios children. All of our moms are the same. But our moms are also Spanish mothers. We're also like Latin American, same, just same. Very much Filipino mothers as well. Like if y'all listen, Joe Coy is one of my favorite comedians. And when he be talking about his mom, I'd be like, that's my little Black mama. So yeah. But yeah, so it's given me a greater appreciation for who I am when you expose yourself to different cultures.
Next is stay close to people who model healthy boundaries. Healthy behaviors are contagious, and eventually you'll start to improve yourself by watching others operate in a healthy capacity. And I guess that this kind of goes back to what I was saying in the beginning when I said I usually come to this topic thinking about who I need to let go of. So it's probably because they're practicing unhealthy boundaries, or they don't have any boundaries at all, or they don't recognize that they need to have boundaries, and you're just sick of talking to them, or something like that.
Or infringing on your boundaries continuously. Yeah.
True, very true.
Yep.
But yeah, when you keep people around you that, and this could be like not just friendships. Could be business partners or business friends, mentors, people that have already gone down the road that you're trying to go down. So that they're just kind of modeling what you need to do to get there.
Agreed. I really don't have anything else. I giggled when you read this because it reminds me of one of my line sisters. She is so like, like she'll be like, y'all, I gotta go. And the next thing she's literally left. Like it's no like warning. She got to get to her husband, or better yet, she has this crazy early bedtime that I laugh at her all the time. But these women get up early. So two of my line sisters, they get up hella early with their husbands. And then so they go to bed at like 9 o'clock. But it's not a game, right? like 8:30, she's rounding us up. Be like, all right, y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to go? 9:00, sis is working. If she's not in the bed, she working on it. And she cracked me up. We went to a conference and like all of that nonsense that we was, because I'm a night owl. So here I am like, y'all, so what we finna do? We finna turn up? No, ma'am, I'm going to bed. And she was done. Like she just left. I was like, I guess she was serious. That right there, yep, she has healthy boundaries and I love it. I also laugh at them.
I mean, I have a lot of friends that go to bed early and I'm just like, this is why I'm up at night by myself, because y'all sleep. Y'all sleep. It's like when I need to call somebody, y'all sleep. But when y'all need to call me, I'll be like, hey, what's up, girl?
Listen, my friends be meeting that do not disturb. They'd be like, it went straight to voicemail. Yeah, because I wasn't awake yet. Y'all know how y'all be going to bed early? Yeah. Don't call me before 10.
I'm still asleep. Guess what? That's a healthy boundary.
Healthy boundary. All right. And last but not least, stay close to people who challenge your thinking. This is not the same as people who make you question yourself. So if you were with that person to be like, oh, you gonna do that for real? Not that person. It's the person to be like, word, this is what you're gonna do? So what's your plan? You want to have more of those people, not the, this is what you really gonna do, that little business of yours. Like, no, we don't need any more of those people. Yeah, and I absolutely agree.
I was thinking, when they say challenge your thinking, I don't want to, because if I say certain views, I guess that will make someone question themselves, but not in a bad way. I guess having someone like give their experience in something, like to make you see from a different point of view, because a lot of times people are narrow-minded and they just think of one thing. So when they actually do something, they don't consider everything in the situation, or they don't consider other people involved. So like giving them a different perspective to challenge their thinking. Because I think you do that a lot on this podcast. A lot of times you're like, I'm going to challenge that and think about this. That, I guess that's what I mean. Not those who make you question, like, or make you think that you're wrong. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm just going to say, think of it this way.
Right.
There are other people who have experienced this. Hopefully that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense if you've never listened to our podcast, so go back and listen to a couple episodes.
Yeah, you're right.
That's all I got.
You're right. But Ki does it in a way where it's a different perspective. I also offer different perspectives, but that's just how we operate on this podcast. And that's how we want you to take this. Challenge your thinking. Don't think of it from just your point of view. There are other points of view out here. If you're talking to a friend and you're all trying to come to a conclusion of something, then consider their point of view as well. And just as we said before, everybody is, maybe you have friends from different backgrounds who will look at it in a totally different way because of how they were raised or how they were brought up.
This whole podcast started as a challenge to thinking. Because I promise you, when you brought it to me, I was just like, we don't talk about self-care, friend? And you were like, yeah, because, people always think like bubble baths and getting their nails done. Like, we want to talk about like self-care in real life. And I was like, huh? And then when you started giving examples like, oh, okay, yeah. Like this whole thing started as a challenge to people's thoughts or thinking. So there you go. Kiki,
right.
She's one big challenge to your thoughts.
That's what I try to be. I really do. I mean, think of it. We both challenge people's thoughts, especially as being yoga teachers, because people look at us like, oh, you do yoga? Really? I can't do that because I'm not flexible enough. And, we got to challenge them in their thinking and be like, no, girl, you can do it. Or no, sir, yes, you can do it. It's a big challenge to what they're thinking.
Okay, so we both two big challenges to people's thoughts.
Yes, that's why we're on this podcast.
Yes. Why are we here?
That's why we're here. All right. So now that we've gone through those six types of people to stay close to, what stood out to you after we went through these, especially in contrast to our initial thoughts about who we need to keep around us? Or did it just confirm what you were saying?
I definitely created some different categories, but I like these. These seem a little bit more general to my a lot more specific. But I like. That's all I got to say.
Okay. So for me, I guess the one that I don't want to say it stood out to me because it just kind of confirmed what I was thinking, but stay close to people who expose you to new things about yourself and the world, because I just don't want to be in a bubble. I'm a very open-minded person, and I never want to like think my way is the only way, and I never want to think that my way of thinking or my morals and values are the only ways in the world. I just want to understand people better, and I want people to understand me better.
I'll say the one that challenges me the most. Haha. The one that challenges me the most is stay close to people who make you feel at ease. Because I say that because like to know me in real life and to know like what I do for work and even being a yoga instructor and all that, like all that's a challenge, right? And I don't know if it's a Black woman's burden, a bear or whatever, but I recognize that I function in a place of, I don't want to say chaos, but like my whole job, like what I do 9 to 5 is trying to solve a problem, right? So I am just naturally a problem solver. And so when you stay in that steady state of problem solving, it is, you know, so like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 52, 50 weeks of a year. It's you're not often around people who make you feel at ease. So I truly, truly cherish the people who do make me feel at ease. But I've just learned to find, like, to self-soothe or to self-comfort so much that I recognize that I don't often look for a ton of people to make me feel at ease. I got my key people, but like that's not something that comes like easy to me. So when you are that person that makes me feel at ease, like, thank you. Just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're somebody that I can let my hair down around and I can just be totally me, and you know, those people just often just sit with me, right? And you know, they get to be around the introverted me, the person who just wants to sit and watch TV, the person who just wants to sit and, you know, cuddle, the person who just wants to sit and do nothing, or maybe let's talk about something. Those people are rare and I cherish them. So that's the one that challenged me a lot.
I was going to say, do you think that's because of the attachment issues? Like,
the attachment issue.
Okay, we're going to scratch that.
I think I have struggled with attachment issues in the past, but that's definitely something that yoga has helped out a lot with. Because like that's one of the first things they teach you is to detach, and you know, like, whew. So yeah, lots of crying during YTT, lots of crying. But yeah. I and again, remember, like I grew up, I gotta say bye to people every couple of years. So I don't know that I have like for real attachment issues.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's what I said. That's what I was going to ask you, because I'm not going to say that you do, but I feel like that can contribute to how you think about friendships. Like you said it in the beginning that you had to say goodbye to people every few years, and it kind of trickled into your adult friendships, I guess. So I don't know if that Like the friendship you just
Yes and
forgot.
no, right? So I recognize that friendships, relationships have cycles and seasons.
Mhm.
Um, Not everyone is meant to be your forever or even a long-term friend. I can
Mhm.
recognize that. But it needs to be said that I have friends from the 1900s. Yeah,
Man,
it
my
needs.
coworker, oh my God, she was like, I'm so glad that you were born in the late 1900s along with, because I'm still the youngest person at my job, but it's so funny. She was like, I'm so glad that you were born in the late 1900s. So when the kids say that, they'll be saying it to you too. I'm like, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have friends from the 1900s. I have friends actually that I made in the 1990s. Like I still have those friendships.
Yeah.
So, but what I don't have is like, for example, um, the high school that I actually graduated from, I'll never forget, like I felt like such an outsider there for a good period because while it was a military town where I lived, um, there were a lot of people who had been together since they were like in elementary school. And so
Hmm.
they had those friendships. They grew up with them, and I didn't have that. So actually, my group of friends from the high school that I graduated from, we're all the new kids. So we were all like new to high school, and we just
Right,
became our own little crew because we didn't have those friendships from like elementary. Now,
right.
I said, it needs to be said that I do have those friendships. I've maintained friendships with people
Hmm.
from the 1990s, the 1900s. But yeah, so yeah.
No, I get it. I just thought I was the opposite from you because I did like not in that we don't have that I don't have friendships from the 1900s. But that I didn't excuse me. I didn't grow up in a military setting. I didn't move a lot. I didn't move at all. Like I grew up in the same place all my life. So all my friends that I have now, well, not all of them. Um, I do have friends from school that I keep in touch with.
Mhm.
And then I feel like I have most of my friends now come from when I went off to college. Um, and that's basically because I just considered myself like I had friends, but it wasn't like I didn't trust a lot of people. So like I had a core two or three people that I really trusted and really kept in touch with. And I just feel like I was the type of person that like I didn't want to let go of the friends that I had because I was so scared that maybe that's the attachment issue that I have. I'm scared that people will leave out of my life, and that's a different episode for another day. That has to deal with loss, grief issues.
Yeah.
But I did have one friend that I was friends with from elementary school up until like college, and then we just kind of phased out. But that kind of hurt, and it still hurts to this day. But
See,
stuff
Facebook is a
happens.
beautiful tool for me, right? Like I've learned that when I say bye to somebody, like because I'm moving or something like that, I've learned that our paths are likely going to cross again. That's definitely a military thing because you usually move based on the job function that you do. So you end up running into people again. So yeah, I might say bye to you, and yet the levels of our friendship might change, but I don't ever think of I don't think of too many people saying goodbye for forever. So when I say that, yeah, when I say that, I have to leave friends or whatever, I've now learned that no goodbye has to be forever unless you just truly just don't maintain that friendship.
That's usually what happens. The friendship is not maintained, and then they're
Well,
gone.
maintain the
So
friendships then, Kiki.
I mean, I can't do it if one person doesn't want to do it. So that's a different story, right? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes.
I know.
Did you say I don't know?
I said no. No, I said I know.
Okay, cool. So that's all we got for y'all today. So we just want to we want to hear from y'all now. So just based on what we've talked about today, think about who is in your circle and who you would actually want or need to stay. And for
Yeah, who would you add to this list?
And for what reasons?
Yes.
So we're gonna, when we share it, y'all know the deal. Go to the page on Instagram, Facebook, share your thoughts when we share about the episode. So we
Sex buddy
can.
does not count.
What?
Nothing.
You said what doesn't count?
I said sex buddy does not count.
Okay.
You can edit that out.
I will. So when we share this on IG, Instagram, Facebook, wherever we are, go ahead and let us know your thoughts on this, because we want to add y'all to the conversation and also have this conversation with your friends. It's a good conversation starter, a good thing to talk about.
Absolutely.
Also, I will be posting a question to Spotify, Anchor. So go up there and answer that question. Yeah. So what are we doing for self-care this week, friend?
Well, May is National Masturbation Month. Ooh. So I'm just kidding. I'm finna pack.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if that motivates you, if that motivates you to pack, then.
Friend, I just wanted to tell the people, May is National Masturbation Month. So speaking of self-care, like, do what you gotta do, friend. And, various, what's the word I want to use? Various outlets that help with those activities by providing tools that help with those activities. Various websites is out here giving, discounts and stuff. Stores and websites are offering discounts. So I'm just saying, not for real. There's this girl, Sex with Ashley. Everybody knows Sex with Ashley. Yeah, everybody knows Sex with Ashley, and y'all know actually Sex with Ashley, or Ashley, the woman, she's living in Fayetteville. Anyway, she was on something talking about this recently, and that's how I found out that it was National Masturbation Month. And I was quite tickled, and I fell down that rabbit hole of like, for real? Because I heard that people was giving discounts. So anyway,
those discounts up,
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is, for self-care this week, I gotta stay on my game. I've already made my list for the week of things that I gotta do. So that's what I did for self-care today. I had made a list of things that I need to do, because all this weekend I'm gonna be partying. It's me and my line sisters. It's our anniversary. So we're gonna be partying, and yeah. So gotta be on the game this week. So if you want to check on me this week, friend, be like, are you being disciplined? Because discipline, she checked out. She left like a couple weeks ago. Sis is on vacation. I need her to come back. Need Sister Discipline to come on back, friend. Come on back. But yeah, if you want to check on me, that's fine.
For discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Do I just need to say, have you packed?
You can start with that. Mm-hmm. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? That's it. That's all I need is, are you doing what you're supposed to do?
Okay. I will do that. I need to put a reminder in my phone, because I'll be forgetting.
Looks like discipline need to come visit you too, friend.
I know. That's why I gotta set these appointments on my phone, like text Key and ask her what she doing. Because otherwise, I'll be texting you right before the episode recording, and be like, "Hey, did you do it?"
Ma'am, this doesn't count. Ma'am, this doesn't count.
All right, so excuse me. Me for self-care. I was doing so well. Here comes the freaking coughs. I've noticed that my coughs come in the evening time, which is a good thing because I'm home, but still, I need you to go away. The self-care for me this week will be, I don't know. I really, as Key sips her drink, I don't care what you're sipping over there. I hope the cup fall.
Drinking water.
I hope it fall because you're looking at me like, I'm waiting. That's what you're looking like.
No,
all right.
Give you a hint, like water.
I'll be drinking water, so I don't know.
Listen, I don't know where you are on your water journey, friend. I'm just trying to give you some hints. You know what? Figure out what you're finna do for self-care.
You love to tell me that I don't be drinking water. I guess because I be talking.
I have never said that you don't be drinking water. You said you don't drink water.
You hint to it every week. Ugh. But we're not talking about water this week. My self-care is getting Key off this podcast because
you ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me. Y'all, we finna go. Please follow us on Take Care Sis Pod because she trying to let me go, so she ain't have to worry about me. Follow us on Take Care Sis Pod on all the major platforms, the podcast platforms.
Just Instagram and Facebook. We ain't nowhere else, girl.
I said all the podcast platforms.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, I'm done. Yoga with Key on Instagram. That's it. I'm out.
You gonna tell them your website? Can you remember that?
Nope.
Okay. Don't go on her website. I hope she get no engagement this week. Okay.
My Google Voice number expired.
What? I'm gonna need you. See, this is where your discipline needs to come in. Something ain't right. Lord, next episode we're gonna be talking about discipline. That's not set in stone, but that's gonna be it's gonna be something we gotta talk about. All right, y'all. Y'all can find me everywhere. This Curvy Yogi, Curvy with an I, not a Y, and that's on all social media platforms. And website is thiscurvyyogi.com. If you want classes, one-on-one sessions, all of those things, hit me up there. Don't forget to tell a friend about this podcast. Share it everywhere. Ain't that right, Key?
You told me to leave you alone.
I didn't tell you leave me alone. I said that was.
Well, you said you would get me off this podcast.
I said I was gonna work on that this week. That's my self-care.
Bye. Leave me alone, friend. Bye.
Anyway, I hope that Key takes care this week. Take care, sis.
I want the rest of y'all to take care too.
Bye.